And do you still have some connection with the country, or is it just the language?
Well, it's both my parents were born in Indonesia, so you know, they will have Dutch customs from their families. But you know, if my parents were going to make a traditional meal that we would have at home, we would have a rijsttafel, so Indonesian food. But you know, I definitely feel an affinity, and I know, you know, I know a lot about it, sort of culturally and things like that. But I think you know, I think people are a product of their environment, and I was born and raised in New Zealand until the age of 21 when I first started to sort of travel. So when I go there, that kind of makes more sense to me. So you know, it's always a very surreal experience being here because I do definitely feel that affinity, but I don't, you know, my grasp of the language is not what it should be.
No, so like I said, it's merely the language. It's not, let's say, the environment or.
Well, like my parents would have, you know, we would have Sinterklaas, and you know, when is that? The 5th of December, you know, and things like that. So I know, you know, there's few of those traditions, you know, come through, and you know, and my parents would tell me a lot about it, but I don't pledge allegiance to the Queen or anything.
And
I am a Dutch citizen though, so I suppose I do somewhere in the passport.
But is it for you then, well, your parents, well, you say they moved from Indonesia. Did they ever actually live in Holland, or?
Yeah.
Where?
Because, I mean, I think it was Dutch to East Indies up until sort of the mid-50s,
yeah.
I think, when...
No, it was until 1949 or something?
Perhaps, but it was dangerous for them to stay any longer than that, you know, and so they were maybe like 9 or 10 when they left.
And they left for?
My father moved to Italy, and my mother moved to Holland, and then they met each other here.
Okay.
And then, you know, I think they're kind of like me, you know, they've never really grown up and felt like they belonged in one country. You know, when I'm in New Zealand, I don't feel like I'm a typical Kiwi either, because, you know, we have different culture and different language and stuff spoken at home. So I think it's kind of similar with them. Like, you know, they were born in Indonesia, and then my father lived in Italy for a long time, and my mother lived in the Netherlands, and then, you know, they moved to New Zealand.
They have 3.
They moved to New Zealand in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I think, you know, they're kind of very much like me, you know, lived in all these sort of different places. Just not kind of this lineage of people living in this one kind of section and with history and stuff passed down.
Well, then my really last question, what do they think now of what you're doing? Traveling the world? And I
think they love it. I think travel's probably like the best thing you can do. You know, you get to see other people's perspective of the world and how other people view different countries, you know. I think that's probably, yeah, it's like the best thing you can do, I think.
Okay.
Just to see the other side of a coin, see how somebody else lives their life completely.
Thank you.